everyone! Today we're going to talk about how to write an introduction. First, you need to write a hook. The hook is an attention-getting line, and its purpose is to grab readers' attention and make them want to read what comes next. So if you think about it, if you write a boring first line or first paragraph, it will not invite readers to want to read your writing further. So it's important to start out with some interesting lines. There's some different types of hooks you can use: a memorable quote, a fact or statistic, an anecdote or personal experience, a rhetorical question, or a bold pronouncement. And we'll be looking at those in a minute. But this is the structure here that you're going to be putting the hook into along with the other items that belong in the introduction. It's called an inverted pyramid. And you can see it starts with the hook up top. The hook really represents a more general idea that you're starting readers out with, so that you can transition them into the more specific idea of the thesis. We'll be using this thesis statement. In the name of mercy, terminally ill patients should have the right to choose the option of physician-assisted suicide. This is a specific and arguable statement, and it will belong right here at the bottom of the inverted pyramid. So let's think about how we can start out with a hook that's going to introduce that thesis idea. We have a memorable quote here. Edwin Hubble Chapin once said that the essence of justice is mercy, and many believe justice is served when mercy is shown to those in pain. So we're introducing that idea of mercy right there, that general idea. Now we need a bridge that will transition us from this general idea of mercy into the more specific idea of the thesis statement. So a bridge is a transition which smoothly moves readers from the idea of the hook into the idea of the thesis. Here's our example. This idea comes into play in the debate about the legalization of physician-assisted suicide, where a patient's level of suffering needs to be taken into consideration. So let's look at these all together to see how they work together. Edwin Hubble Chapin once said that the essence of justice is mercy, and many believe justice is served when mercy is shown to those in pain. This idea comes into play in the debate about the legalization of physician-assisted suicide, where a patient's level of suffering needs to be taken into consideration. In the name of mercy, terminally ill patients should have the right to choose the option of physician-assisted suicide. So here we have just 3 sentences. The first one represents the hook. The second transitions that idea from the hook into the more specific idea of the thesis statement very smoothly. And this is what you need to do for your introductory paragraph, is include these elements that lead readers smoothly into the idea that you want to present. Let's look at some other options as how to start out your introductory paragraph. You can also use a fact or statistic. This one says, physician-assisted suicide, PAS, is legal in 7 U.S. states and the District of Columbia. Many argue that this practice is equivalent to murder, but I believe PAS is merciful. When contemplating the issue, a patient's level of suffering needs to be taken into consideration. In the name of mercy, terminally ill patients should have the right to choose the option of physician-assisted suicide. So again, you see that fact or statistic is used as a hook, and we still have the bridge that leads us into that thesis statement. The next is an anecdote or story. This is a true story here as a hook. Brittany Maynard was a young lady of 29 who had terminal cancer which caused a brain tumor. To avoid the pain and suffering her last months of life would bring to her and her family, Brittany chose physician-assisted suicide, which to her was a merciful act. So you can see how that story serves as a hook, and you can create that bridge to lead into that same thesis statement. The next is the rhetorical question. And this can work. It can sometimes not be quite as interesting as the others. But here's an example. Have you ever denied someone mercy when they asked? This question is important to ask in regards to the debate about the legalization of physician-assisted suicide. Next, we'll look at the bold pronouncement. And here it is. Your ability to show mercy defines you as a human being. So you can see how all these types of hooks can lead you into creating a bridge that will interestingly introduce your thesis idea to your readers. So remember that formula: hook, bridge, thesis. And if you have any questions, please ask me. I can help you to create that thesis statement or introductory paragraph as you learn how to do this well.